You done heard 1,000 times before that there's no history of the Israelites ever being in Egypt, right? What if I told you that I found the city of the Hebrews in Egypt, hidden in plain sight? And I'm going to bring it out at the Passover. This Passover 2016. I'm going to drop today's word.
Matthew chapter 15, verse 24. But he answered and said, I am not sent.
This is Jesus Christ speaking. I am not sent. I did not come. Go ahead.
But unto the lost sheep of the house of Israel.
He didn't come for anybody but the lost sheep of Israel, man. And let me tell you something. They say that there's no historical references for Jesus Christ. Let me tell you something. That's a goddamn lie, man. And you know what? Outside of Josephus too. They don't tell you that either. Can I get this book right here, this red book right here? We're going to go to page 27 in this book. This book right here is called Medieval Europe. And inside is the record of what was going on in medieval Europe. And the Romans just so happen to have a record of Jesus Christ. Let's see what they had to say about this. I want you to start at 27. Read what's underlined.
Jewish religion experienced.
When it says Jewish, it's because the world has been conditioned to this term. You are not Jewish. Ish means to be like. You cannot be like what you are. The white man's Jewish. You can convert to that. You can't convert to being a Jew. You can't convert to being an Israelite. The same way you can't become Chinese. The same way you can't become an Arab. Because you have to be born that. Every black, Hispanic, and Native Indian, you were born a Jew. You were born an Israelite. You cannot convert. This has nothing to do with religion. The Lord gave us a constitution. He gave us laws, statutes, and commandments to be able to run a fully functional society that would take over the earth. You understand that? You think I'm lying? The Jewish man did it. How does he run the Diamond District? How does he own all your private banks? How does he run Hollywood? He read the Bible. That's all he did. And he realized that you need to keep your wealth with your own people. That's why the KKK and white supremacists don't like the fake Jew, even though he's white. He does not share his wealth. He doesn't deal with any other nation because he believes that if he's the chosen, every other nation should be serving him. You understand that? So therefore he enslaved the world. When you're supposed to be ruling over these other nations, man. The black, Hispanic, and Native Indian man should be deciding if a white man eats or not. If he lives or dies or not. You're supposed to be in charge, man. You don't know this? It's all over the Bible, man. It's all over history. We do research here. And I'm going to show you some documents. Read.
Jewish religion experience has been recorded in a body of Hebrew literature known to us as the Old Testament.
You understand that? The Old Testament was written in Hebrew. The New Testament was written in Greek. We're going to get to why in a minute. The Bible is a collection of Hebrew records. It's a history book. The most accurate history book on the planet. It ain't got nothing to do with no goddamn religion. You understand? These religions lied to you. Snakes don't talk, man. Jesus Christ is not white. You understand that? And he only came for you. What does any other nation need to be saved from? Not a goddamn thing. You're the one who dies in the ghetto, man. Mike Brown died for jaywalking, man. You understand that? And don't tell me a college education will save you, because he was going to college that week.
Right.
They didn't see that. They saw a target, man.
Right.
You understand that? Read.
It exists also in a Greek translation, also called the Septuagint.
Meaning there's a Greek translation as well. Why do they have this in Greek? For the same reason we're reading this in English. The Greek conquered us. The Greco-Roman Empire conquered us. Why do you think it was Roman soldiers who came to arrest Jesus Christ? Read.
For the benefit of the Jews who had wandered away from their homeland.
Because like we just read in James 1:1, greeting to the 12 tribes which are scattered abroad. We are scattered everywhere. You don't believe me? Kobe Bryant's father was from Italy. Dennis Rodman's father has how many kids over in Korea right now or Vietnam? I want to say like 30-something, some obscene amount. Read on.
The long succession of conquerors, of whom the Romans were only the last, who had overridden the Jewish homeland and driven the Jewish people to the great hope and definite expectation that their God would someday release them from political bondage.
Meaning, we were praying that we would be freed from political bondage. We didn't want this devil ruling over us. We didn't want the Romans ruling over us. Read.
Political bondage to foreign masters.
To foreign masters, just like you have today. Jesus Christ came to teach you how to get out of captivity, man. Read.
It was thought that through the instrumentality of the Messiah, especially sent by God, a new Jewish kingdom was to be set up.
This was the idea, that the Most High would send us a king that would free us from captivity and show us how not to be a slave anymore, man. You understand that? He only came for his people. The kingdom of heaven is black and Hispanic rulership of the planet Earth. What you're living in right now is hell. 400,000 abortions a year is hell. Not knowing your identity is hell. Being gunned down in the streets is hell. Waking up in everyday life in the ghetto is hell. Living check to check is hell. Not having to worry about any of this is hell. Ruling over them is going to be heaven. That's what he came to establish. And that's why we're going to read a little bit more. Read what's highlighted. Read.
His message was therefore, repent, for the kingdom of God is at hand.
Meaning, if you want to get the kingdom, you need to change your ways. Sisters, you can't be hoes no more. You can't be aborting your babies. Brothers, you can't be drug dealers. You understand that? You can't be the best gang member you can be trying to fight over a block you don't even own. You understand that? We need to change. We cannot smoke up all the weed in Harlem. We cannot smoke up all the crack in Harlem. We need to leave this alone. Read.
It was a message meant especially for Jews.
Black, Hispanic, and Native Indians. Read.
There is no adequate reason to suppose that he thought of a Gentile mission.
The Romans even had a record that there's no record of him going to anybody else. What happened? You don't understand context. You don't understand the scriptures, because white Jesus lied to you. He'll let you be a homosexual. He wants his people to rule over you. Let me explain something to you. If Jesus Christ was white, there'd be no salvation for anybody. I promise you that. Believe that. Put that in your mind. He didn't go to anybody else. Even the Romans knew it. Like we just said, think not that I am come, but to the lost sheep of the house of Israel. To those who don't know who they are. To those who were conquered by the Greeks and thought that they were Greek. So we had to write letters to them in Greek so that they would understand it. Just like we have letters to you right now in English so you would understand it. Because if I come out here and I say Shalom, Shalamka, you're not gonna know what the hell I'm saying. I just asked you, how is your peace? You don't know the reply. Shalom Yatawah, my peace is good. You don't know how to speak Hebrew. What good would it do if I came out here and spoke another language? Which is why they needed it to be written in Greek. Which is why it needed to be translated into English. So we would understand our own record. Because our heritage was discontinued from us, man. This has happened all throughout history. And this is why they had to have Jesus Christ killed. Read right here. You're about to find out what Roman society thought of this man. Read.
Thus, when at Jerusalem, he was first publicly proclaimed as the inaugurator of the expected new era. It was inevitable, inevitable, that he should be looked upon by the authorities.
This is how Jesus Christ was looked upon by the authorities. Read.
As a dangerous and fanatical revolutionary.
As a dangerous and fanatical revolutionist. Let me ask you something. Does this bastard look dangerous? Does he look fanatical? He looks soft as hell, like the homosexual he is. You understand that? I want to say more, man, but it's a hate crime now because these gays got power because the devil's in charge of this land, man. You understand that? Jesus Christ was a dangerous and radical revolutionary. He knew the white man was the devil. He called them the devil, man. You understand that? He was only about his people. And that's what they say about us. The Hebrew Israelites are domestic terrorists, man. You understand that? You want to know why? Because we're just like our king. We're dangerous and fanatical revolutionaries, man. You understand that? And what's dangerous about us? We don't gotta harm nobody. I'm not telling you to go harm not a damn person. This is what's dangerous. That I'm telling you to get off drugs. That I'm telling you that you're the greatest people on the face of the earth. That I'm telling you that the kingdom of heaven is at hand. When we will rule the earth. That is dangerous and revolutionary, man, because everybody else is trying to get you to love every other nation. Somebody's trying to get you to join the Africans who put you in slavery. Somebody else is trying to get you to join Buddha. Somebody else is trying to get you to join Caesar Borgia. Somebody else is trying to get you to join Muhammad. I'm telling you, look at the black man next to you, man, and join him. You understand that? Look at him, man. Let's make black lives actually matter, man. You understand that? Once again, when I say black, from this point on, I'm only going to say black. Because let me explain something. You Puerto Ricans, you Dominicans, y'all niggas too, man. You understand that? You just speak Spanish and swim good. Get over it. Stop trying to follow white Jesus, man. You understand that? So what the hell happened? How did we get over here in America? Why were we in Africa? What were the Puerto Ricans and the Taino Indians and the Arawak Indians and the Incas and the Mayas? What were they doing over here? We're going to get into it right now. We can put this down. Matter of fact, I need this book right here. I want to get into just a little bit more of this Greek. I want the Zondervan Bible Dictionary. And I want you to go right to where this piece of paper is. Before we get into a little bit more of that, I want to touch on this Greek thing right here. Because people don't understand the scriptures. They read Romans 1:16, where it says that we went to the Jew first and then the Greek. And now you know what that means? This is what Christianity is trying to put in your head. Save white people. Love white people. Be ruled over by white people. This is what Christianity is telling you. So when you read Greek, why weren't the Syrophoenicians mentioned? Why weren't the Asians mentioned? Why wasn't any other nation under the sun mentioned? Why were the Greeks mentioned? For the same reason the Bible was translated into Greek. Because of this word right here. We do research here. This is the word Hellenist in the Zondervan Bible Dictionary. The Merriam-Webster's Dictionary will give you the same definition. Read.
Non-Greeks who spoke Greek.
Non-Greeks who spoke Greek. Let's take it a step further. Read.
A term used especially of Jews.
Of who?
Of Jews.
A term used especially of Jews. Read.
Who made Greek their tongue.
Go ahead.
And with it often adopted Greek ideas and practices.
This is what the hell happened, man. When it was talking about the Greeks and the Jews first, the Jews was Judah, Benjamin, and Levi living in Jerusalem at that time. Because the other tribes had already left. We were taken into captivity and came into America. I'm going to bring out the history. And I'm going to bring out documentation. You understand? I got about 5 books back here. I'm going to try to get it all out right now. You understand that? We were conquered by the Greeks. There was a time when you read in the Apocrypha, I'm going to get it right now. Where's the Apocrypha? In 2 Maccabees 6 and 6. I'm about to show you right now. There was a time when it was illegal to call yourself a Jew. You had to call yourself a Greek. Just like when you go and you got to sign that paper, you got to check African American. Or like that sister did, she checked other. Because we don't know who the hell we are. Because we are the lost sheep of the house of Israel. 2 Maccabees chapter 6, verse 6.
Neither was it lawful for a man to keep Sabbath days.
It wasn't lawful for you to keep the Sabbath. When the Greco-Roman Empire, you read the Maccabees is one of the most revolutionary books on the earth. You understand that? Our holy days, our feast days, do you know what we celebrate? We celebrate the death of our enemies. That's what Hanukkah is really about. It's about our victory over the Greeks when they tried to kill us. It's about brothers who stood up and said, we're not going to call ourselves Greeks. We're going to get our culture back, and we're going to stand up and fight. while you celebrate Thanksgiving, which is the slaughter of the 77 million North American Indians, man. Read.
Days or ancient feasts, or to profess himself at all to be a Jew.
It was unlawful. There was a law made that you couldn't say that you were a Jew. So if you're being ruled by the Greeks, what would you have to call yourself? Greek. This is why the Bible was written, the New Testament was written in Greek. When you're reading about all these cities, when you're reading about Galatia, when you're reading about Rome, the book of Romans, when you're reading about the book of Corinthians, it was because they had to send letters to Corinth, to the Jews who were living there who didn't know their identity. Paul's entire mission was to teach those brothers who were lost their identity, and then to get the same brothers who were living in Jerusalem to accept them, to unite the black, Hispanic, and Native Indians, just like we try to do right now. Just like we try to tell you that the Mexicans is your brother, and you're like, they ain't our damn brother. And then you want to be mad at them because they took your job. How did a Mexican take your job? Because he'll work for a wage that you won't pay, that you won't work for? Matter of fact, how is a Mexican your enemy when who gave him the job in the first place? Who owns the business that hired him in the first place? You understand that? If not for these devils, man. There's about 4 black-owned businesses left in Harlem. Man, is soul food's owned by the Koreans. You understand how the hell you got Koreans cooking you soul food, man? You understand that? We don't know who the hell we are. This book is the most revolutionary book on the planet, man. You understand that? Let me get this book right here, please. There's another placeholder. I want you to go right there. I'm about to give you a little bit of history right now. The people you would consider Haitians, the people you would consider West Indians, the people you would consider African Americans, that was the major population who was inside Jerusalem at the time of Jesus Christ. That's 3 tribes. Those 3 tribes were the major population. I'm going to tell you what the hell happened, and I'm going to tell you how you got into Africa. Because if you get a book by the name of Babylon and Timbuktu, you're going to find out in 70 AD, the Emperor Vespasian, under Titus's rulership, the general Vespasian, he sacked, here it is good, he sacked Jerusalem. There was a siege on the city for 3 years. Nothing got in or out. Our people were starving to the point where they were cooking their damn shoes and eating the leather, man. Just trying to get some food. Those who were lucky enough, over 1 million of us fled into Africa. And we were there in Africa, warring with the African tribes until eventually we were sold to the white man. You understand that? So we were sold to the Arabs who built their slave ships. Turn this around. If you look at this book right here, this right here is everything leaving. Right here. This is everything leaving our temple when they ransacked us. You see this right here? You can Google this. This is called the Judea Chapter. It's a coin, just like America. America mints coins. They got the Sacagawea coin. They got bicentennial coins. Well, America's the continuation of the Roman Empire. Rome minted this coin called the Judea Chapter, meaning Jerusalem captured. And it was to commemorate this victory. Where the hell were the Puerto Ricans? Where were the Dominicans while all this was going on? I'm about to teach it to you right now, man. I'm about to show you what happened, how the kingdom split, how we got separated, how we got brought back together, and how we lost our identity again, and how, before Columbus came, you knew that you were Israelites, man. What language do you think you were speaking? What language do you think the Brazilians were speaking before Portuguese? You understand that? What language do you think the Haitians were speaking before Creole? What language do you think the Jamaicans and the Bajans and everybody else in those islands was speaking before Patois, before broken English? What do you think? It was Hebrew, man. We saw each other and we greeted each other, man. We said Shema Yasha'Allah Yahweh Allahayanahu Yahweh God, man. Hear, O Israel, the Lord our God is one, man. Oh yeah, we study language too. You understand that? We took our culture back, man. You understand that? Hear that good. You can put that down. Can I have lost tribes in Promised Land? I'm about to show you something right now. That they lied to you, man, when they said that Columbus thought the what do you call it? I want you to go right here. Let me explain something to you, man. They lied to you when they told you Columbus thought the world was flat. Columbus knew where the hell he was going. You understand that? I'm going to tell you what he was doing over here, and I'm going to tell you who the hell he was looking for. You see this? I want you to read right here.
Lost tribes of promised land. A striking element in Columbus' geographical religiosity is his intense and abiding interest in the 4th and 2nd book of Ezra.
So now, what is he talking about here? That same book that I went into right here, the Apocrypha. These books right here used to sit right in between the Old and the New Testament. They were taken out because this book right here proves the Bible's historical accuracy and told you where the 12 tribes of Israel did. Columbus read this book, and he read this book, and this book is what led him on that journey to come to America. And I'm going to tell you why too. They lied to you in history class, man. Read what you got.
The 2 apocryphal books of Ezra purport to be additional writings by and about the Old Testament Ezra. But the 2nd and 4th book is a piece of a full-fledged Hellenistic apocalyptic writing.
And we just learned that the term Hellenistic pertains to the Hellenists. Who were the Hellenists? Jews whose language and culture and custom became Greek because they were conquered by them. Read.
Writings that was often regarded with suspicion by the church.
Because let me explain something to you. Because when you read the Apocrypha, it tells you the white man's the devil, man. It tells you who you are. It gives you historical accuracy. They had to take that out. You understand that? And using this book, this is what he did. Read right here.
Augustine had
the marginal note.
In the marginal notes to Columbus' copy of the alley is a relatively lengthy discourse of 2nd Ezra.
Meaning that he was writing in his records, he was using this book. What did he use it for? Turn the page, read this right here.
Upon the 3rd day, thou didst command that the waters should be gathered up in the 7th part of the earth. 6 parts thou hast dried up and kept them, to the intent that of these things, some being planted of God.
So he went into Esdras and he found out that there was one more continent than Europeans thought. He said there is another landmass out there that we don't know about because we're now reading this book. Read.
Of God and tilled might serve thee.
Go ahead. That was an excerpt from that same book. For time's sake, I'm going to read them right out of here. Go ahead.
This was often to be cities by Columbus, who argued that since only 1/7 of the world was water, a good deal more dry land than yet was known remained to be discovered overseas.
So he read this and said, there is another landmass out there. So now, why did he want to go so bad? Because what you don't know is that Columbus was actually a Spaniard. He was a part of what they called the New Christians or Conversos, meaning that there was Jewish men living in Spain. Queen Isabella was expelling them. Anybody who didn't convert to Christianity was either persecuted or expelled. So he converted to Christianity for what? So he wouldn't get expelled. So now he can stay in these lands and operate without being persecuted. So now he's reading this book and he said, thinking that he's a Jew, I need to find out where the 10 lost tribes are. I need to find out where they went, because when he was reading our record, he found out we would be blessed. He found out we would be rich. What do you think Puerto Ricans are called Puerto Rico for? It's a port of riches. There was jewels just washing up on the damn shores of the beach. There was gold ore there. There was melons there and fruits there. It was a rich and fertile land.
Thank you, man.
You understand that? And he said, if we find this land, we will be able to establish a safe haven for us. So that's when he went to get, you can read another book called The Secret Voyage of Christopher Columbus. They'll give you all these resources. Do you know how much this book is? This book, when it first came out, was $15. This is Lost Tribes and Promised Land. If you Google this book right now, this book is damn near up to $2,000. Why would this book be $2,000? You understand that? There's too much truth in here. They don't want it to fall into your hands. Who's got $2,000 to just spend on a book except for a damn devil, man? You understand that? So now what I want you to do, drop down to right here. Start reading here.
If Columbus did indeed glimpse himself in the role of the man from the sea, then Ezra's identification of the peaceable multitude taking on special significance.
So now, we're about to find out that he also read in the book of Ezra where the 9.5 or 10 lost tribes went to. You understand that? I want you to hold this. We're going to come back and read it. I want you to go. I'm holding it. I got it. Don't sweat it. Take this book. 2nd Ezra chapter 13, verse 40. I'm about to show you something right now. I'm about to show you what they won't teach you in church. I'm about to show you right now that he used this book to find you, man. To find America. To figure out where the hell you went to. Read.
2nd Ezra chapter 13, verse 40. Those are the 10 tribes which were carried away prisoner out of their own land.
Let me explain what happened, man. I don't have enough time to grab it all. You can come to class, we'll break all this down. So now you're going to get an overview. When you read 2 Kings, the 17th chapter, you find out that there was a split in the kingdom. Judah, Benjamin, and Levi went in the south and in the land known as Samaria. Later on in the scriptures, that's where the other 9.5 tribes were. This is where they were dwelling. And we were sinning, man. You understand that? Ephraim was ruling. Today you know them as the so-called Puerto Ricans. We were ruling in the north. Judah was ruling in the south. And you know what happened, man? We sinned so bad that the Most High had the Assyrians come and take us into captivity. And then take us over into the Assyrian Empire. We're about to read that history. Read.
So why you open it? In the same of Osa, the king.
Hosea. This is just the Greek translation. Read. Or transliteration, rather. Read.
Who Salmanasar, the king of Assyria, led away.
Salmanasar was the king of Assyria who took these tribes, our ancestors, into captivity. Read.
Who led away captive, and he carried them over the waters.
And now, he carried them what? Over water. Let me explain something to you. For anybody who doubts that the northern kingdom went into slavery on ships, that was the first time that it happened. With the Assyrians. The Lord said, into bondage again will I bring you on ships, man. And he did it to the island of Puerto Rico too. The transatlantic slave trade started with the Taino Indians. Read.
And so came they into another land. But they took this counsel among themselves that they would leave the multitude of the heathen.
So what they did was they decided we're gonna leave this nation that captured us. Go ahead.
And go forth into a further country where never mankind dwelt.
And you know where that land was? That land was America. Yeah. This was a land where no one else dwelt. That's why when the Europeans got here, they called it the New World. They didn't know about it. We did. That's why we came here. And while we were here, we decided that we wanted to keep our laws. That's why the oldest 10 commandments that they know of right now, where do you think they're found?
I'm going back to Nigeria.
New Mexico. They are found in New Mexico, and it's called the Los Lunas Stone. You understand that? Keep reading.
South Africa. That they might keep their statues, which they never kept in their own land.
And when we got here, we thought we were going to keep the land. Why do you think the North American Indians wore fringes with a border of blue? That's in the law. Why do you think if you look up certain archaeological artifacts like the Back Creek Stone, which is artifacts that they found in Indian burial grounds with Hebrew written on it? Why is this? Because the black, Hispanic, and North American Indians are the true children of Israel, man. And you know what? I'm about to show you something else for these nutcases, because this right here says Arsareth. They think it's Turkey. First of all, it said it took them 1.5 years to get there. It said that they entered into the Euphrates. What the hell do you need to enter into the Euphrates for in order to get to Turkey, which was in the north? Second of all, from that land, it don't take 1.5 years to get there. It took Columbus 1.5 years to get to America, though. You understand that? They entered into the Euphrates. They came out into the Gulf. They sailed around the eastern part of Africa and came right up into South America. This is what the Bible's telling you, man. But I'm about to get you this record. Open this up. Read right here.
Upon the third day, thou didst command the water that the water should be gathered up in the 7 parts of the earth.
Stop that. Hold up. Right here. Matter of fact, you know what? Start reading right here. This is what Columbus said when he read what I just told you in the Apocrypha. Read.
Ezra's interpretation of the peaceable multitude then goes on to say that the lost tribes entered into the Euphrates by the narrow passages of the river.
So now, just like the scripture says that we entered into the Euphrates, you understand that? This is what he's saying. So he traced where we went. Turn the page, go ahead. Right here.
Waters of them, and then traveled another year and a half to a region called Astaroth.
And when they see this, they think it's talking about Turkey. You understand that? I'm about to show you something. This is how dumb you are because you don't study Greek and you don't study Hebrew. Read.
Evidently, a Greek corruption of the Hebrew another country.
Meaning that the translation was not talking about that specific land. It just meant another country, another landmass. They came to America, man, and this is all over this. This is all over history. We can put that down. This book right here. I want you to go to page 95. Read the cover of this book.
Christopher Columbus, the participation of the Jews in the Spanish and Portuguese discovery.
You're about to find out what they discovered when they came over here. And this is another thing. Columbus not only knew where he was going, he not only used the Bible to find us, I'm going to give you something else. He brought a Hebrew translator over with him, Luis de Torres. Why would he bring a Hebrew translator over here? For what? For what reason? Who would he be looking to communicate with? 95. Turn the page right here. I want you to read what's highlighted.
In Cuba, Hispaniola, and the other islands which he discovered, Columbus found natives who had the Caciques and their own language and tradition.
When he went and when he first discovered the island of Hispaniola, when they went to all the islands of the Caribbean, he found Indians, or what he labeled as Indians. You're not no damn savage, man. You understand that? And this is what he had to say. Go ahead.
To what race did these Aborigines of America belong? Several writings have asserted and have displayed much learning in attempting to prove that the Aborigines were descendants of the Jews.
Of who?
The Jews.
Let me explain something to you, man. They've known since 1492 who the real Jews are, who the real Israelites are. Turn the page. I'm about to show you something right now, man. Drop this, read this right here.
It is not improbable that the Jews who were driven from Nineveh by Salmanasar.
Nineveh was the capital of the Assyrian Empire. I just told you where we were carried to. It is not impossible. Go ahead.
By Salmanasar wandered into uninhabited regions.
Like what? Like America. Go ahead.
According to Hera, the Indians cherished the tradition of Yucatan had been settled by tribes of the Orient.
The Orient. What does the word Orient mean? It means east. Where is our homeland located? What they consider the Middle East. They said it's not impossible that these people were from the Orient. Turn this page right here, man. What I want you to do is start right here at their rites and ceremonies.
Their rites and ceremonies.
This is talking about the Indians. When you read this, this is translated from Spanish to English. What we're about to read is a letter which translated means the Indians of the islands or Hebrews. Read.
Their rites and ceremonies, as well as their language, form one of the main arguments in favor of this theory of descent.
Meaning what? Meaning Hebrew Israelites. Read.
Circumcision prevailed among the Indians.
Let me explain something to you. Who had a covenant for circumcision, man? You understand that? Abraham. It was only in recent time that they realized it was sanitary and better for a man. You understand that? We knew this for thousands of years. Read.
Among the Indians, they often bathed in rivers.
Now the reason being is because we have laws of cleanliness. There's laws in the Bible that you have to bathe after sex, that you have to bathe after certain activities, man. We're the cleanest people on earth. Read.
And streams, they refrain from touching the dead.
Just like there's laws that if you come around the dead, you're unclean for 7 days. There was a Nazarite vow that if you took the vow of the Nazarite, you were not to come in contact with a dead body. Read.
And from tasting blood.
And from tasting blood. Let me explain something to you. How do we like our steaks cooked? Well done. How does the white man like his steaks cooked? You understand that? Bloody. We refrained from tasting blood because we had laws on it. When they went and they studied the culture of the North American Indians and they compared it to the culture of the Jews, they realized who the hell we were. Read.
They had definite fast days. Marriage with sister-in-laws was permitted if they were childless widows.
Because this was a law of inheritance amongst the Israelites. Read.
Wives were discarded for new helpmates. They also sacrificed first fruits on high mountains.
Let me explain something to you. First fruits is whose feast day, man? The Jews, man. The Israelites. Read.
On high mountains and under shady trees. They had temples and carried a holy ark before them in time of war.
This is what they did, man. When they went to war, just like we did back in the day, they carried an ark. Just like when we went to war in the Promised Land, man, we carried the Ark of the Covenant with us, man. This is the records that they had on us, man. This is what they said that we were doing. Go ahead.
They were also, like the 10 tribes, inclined to idol worship, which writers and travelers agreed. Moreover,
drop that. Let me get Lost Tribes of Promised Lands again. Page 64. I'm about to show you something else, man. In that same book, they bring up this man Morano. Morano, when he came over here, he spoke Hebrew with the Indians, man. And you know what else he said? He said the sons of Joseph were on an island nearby. Just like the scripture says, man. What islands nearby? Like Puerto Rico, man. Like Cuba. Those were the sons of Joseph, man. We're bringing out your history right here. And they've known this forever. You understand? I want you to read what's highlighted right here. When he came over here, this is the language that the Indians spoke before Spanish, before Portuguese, before you were murdered to accept your oppressor's culture and identity. Read.
The woman got off and stand, although he could perceive that he was being identified in the conversation.
This woman is an Indian. He went and met up with her, and they went and met up with other Indians, and they were talking about this Spanish explorer inside the conversation. Read.
She then turned to her male companions to explain the situation. Upon hearing her words, they rose, went over to Montesinos, and to his utter astonishment said. So now, when he went over there, this is what he heard. When you read this, it's the Yiddish version. It says, Shema Yisrael Adani Eluhai Adani Elad. You know what that means? In ancient Hebrew, it's Shema Yasha'ala Yahweh Lahayanahu Yahweh Akkad. It's Deuteronomy 6:4, man. It's the credo of the Israelites. Hear, O Israel, the Lord our God is one. This is what they said. This is how the Indians greeted each other. And this man thought he was a Jew. He thought he was a Jew. Meanwhile, he was a damn convert, man. You can't convert to a nationality. It's a damn fake religion, man. Keep reading. Hear, O Israel, the Lord our God, the Lord is one. They had received
is the black, Hispanic, and Native Indians are the true Israelites and Jews of biblical antiquity.
When nowadays I work hard on the job, till I come cross still like I'm a criminal. Trying to get caught, it could be your first charge. Like, man, you ain't getting the minimum. It gon' dip, squat, 5 mile run, push, pull, sit on, goddamn, get strong. Looking at my baby, trying to keep them doing wrong. It's too long for they grown, I can't leave them on their own. They killed Day like he had a 30-day cake. The news covering up the story for what they say. It took me back to the time we lost Otis. Pretending these crackers, they gon' tell you something bogus. And I'm thinking like, damn, what you telling kids? We try to put up a fight, but did we fail the kids? Cause they really got us looking like no damn good. And why success got to cost my manhood?